get your
All right,
5-point sermon ready?
yeah, everyone, y'all. You got up this morning and you thought to yourself, man, this is going to be a boring day. You did not realize that you were getting bonus Peer to Picker today. I am your temporary host on Tuesday
Da, 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 da.
because I didn't want to go get COVID on a cruise. I sent Thom instead. So, what are the over and under odds that he comes back with COVID?
Uh,
I think they're pretty high. I give Thom about 38% chance of coming back with the coof.
yeah, I'm about the same after my experience.
Yeah. Hey, RG, what's up, man? Bumcrack says Mr. Sadie was first, but I don't even see Mr. Sadie's comment. So, right on, right on. Anybody wants to? Anybody brave enough to come visit us for Christmas? I'm gonna put the link in the chat. I'll put it in there a couple times. You don't even have to show your face. You can just show your hand or turn the camera off. We don't care. You do have to cover up your junk though, because we don't want to see none of that. You gotta have standards. I got a lot of shipping to do. I didn't finish my shipping yesterday, and so Harlan sent me a post. Friday night, John Johnson was on here. If you don't follow John, he's Rad Relics on YouTube. Okay, so he's not everybody's cup of tea, but he's a smart reseller, and he posted a thing that, Lord have mercy. When I said it's okay to turn your camera off, damn it, David. We didn't have to see you first thing this morning. What the hell?
Yeah, and it's Tuesday.
I know, right? So John Johnson made a post saying that something that I've been saying for a while, that with COVID, and he had a lot of items that have been in store for quite a while. The pricing and demand had changed, and so he's just going to put his whole store 25-30% off. And he had a $2,200 day on eBay. I'm like, that's impressive for eBay. And I'm like, you know what? Man, screw it. The whole store 25% off. And so I'm in the midst. So I'm going to make a video about it, but I'm doing an experiment. So I put the whole store 25% off Sunday afternoon, probably about 3:00. And my sales, I'd ran 7 or 8 $500 days in a row. Then they dropped off to 100 for 2 days. Immediately, it was real slow Sunday, and then all of a sudden it closed out with, I think, 380, and I was back over 500 again yesterday. So yeah, I've got 23 to ship today. I'm sorry, 32 to ship today on eBay. So I challenge you, if you're struggling on eBay, don't stop experimenting. So here's the next thing I'm gonna do here. I told you I was experimenting. So this sale goes until tomorrow, right after the show, and then when the show ends tomorrow, I will. I'm going to shut the store. I'm going to end every listing, and then I'm going to bring it back up, and then I'm going to put the sale back on it through Friday night, because I want to see what happens whenever you put newly listed with a 25% off. And you know what I mean? I want to see if there's any difference because I haven't done the reset on the store in probably 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. So I want to see what kind of combination and what kind of, so I'll have the last week of Christmas. I'll have the newly listed bump, and I'll also have 25% off, and I'm going to throw a dynamic promoted on there too. Let's just see what happens, right? The one thing I'll tell you, and David's listened to me for a long time, bless his heart. You got to buy right. If you want to do these kind of things, you got to buy right. You make money on the buy. You have a lot of flexibility on the buy. David buys really cheap, and so you are able to do these things. You're able to weather storms. You're able to beat others on. I mean, how many times has John come on this show and told y'all what he did to people who came on his Pop Rocks listing? He would run at a loss until he ran you out, just to go back up and make money again. And I don't think I got to be that desperate, but it might be even be interesting to see run the newly listed, run the 25% off, and no promoted. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll do because I'll have the newly listed bump. Maybe I'll do no promoted and put them on sale. So that's what I'll do for from Wednesday to Friday. I'll do no promotions. We'll see what happens. It'll probably be no sales all day Wednesday, and then Thursday I'll get mad and promote. Because Josh, these hateful bastards on the internet have run Josh off for a while. There's nothing wrong with those folks. I enjoy watching a few of those, but you also there's a need for the education of the people who are talking business, talking shop, and so I'm going to try those. I lost my whole train of thought about where the hell was I going with this? Damn it! But no, see, he the question he proposed was, should I lower the price or should I keep the price up and promote? And the answer generally, I think I agree with him, is what benefits eBay? eBay loses if you lower the price. Damn, Andy Glass is awake this morning. What the hell? So I'd be very curious to see what happens with no promotions and cut the price, because that's opposite of my normal thinking. Because eBay, but I wonder if it'll offset it with a newly listed bump. Tactical Z, yes. Another bunch. Tom's on the damn cruise. Thom right now is wearing his banana hammock, drinking his first morning drink, probably on the top deck of the boat. Roberta's hiding from him because she don't want to see all that. Landshark, Thom, he's too cheap. He's not going to buy the internet package on the cruise. So I'd be curious to see what the chat thinks. So what do you guys think about? Do you do these kind of things? Are you brave with your? I know, Dave. You sell a lot more Amazon now than eBay, but you used to be 100%. When I first met you, you were all eBay.
Now my eBay just rides.
You famously told me that I was crazy as hell for doing retail arbitrage and kiss my ass. That's what you told me, I think.
Something like that.
Are you glad you reconsidered?
Well, I do very little retail arbitrage now.
But it got you to where you are now, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so folks, have a plan. That's the one thing I'm going to tell you is have a plan.
Yeah, I do the end and resale, but I'm lazy. I only get around to doing it maybe twice a month.
Andy, if Dak plays like he did the other night, that's scary because listening to them talk about his footwork and I started watching. He hit that back foot on the drop in the West Coast offense, and the ball was out. If all of a sudden they can't if they can't get pressure on him, that's gonna be tough to deal with.
They got a pretty tough schedule going to the end of the season, though.
So peddling profits. A frequent contributor to the chat.
Thank you.
We do that a lot. Don't promote, just lower price. Works well on eBay and Etsy. Andy, I don't have a pro team. I don't really care. I like the Eagles just because they've got like 6 Alabama players on them, but I like the Cowboys to lose just because I like sending you memes of cowgirls.
I've seen more this year of those than any other year.
So he says I'm assuming peddling profits is a guy. Rarely promote. We do this in commercial electric items. Very nice. Be curious to hear anybody else's strategy because I don't think there's a right or a wrong strategy. Okay, so I do think there's a wrong one. Not doing shit. That's the wrong one. See, the people that think that eBay is not an active participation, that you've got to work at this and do these things. Well, Dusty, Andy, you didn't learn very much. Dusty did that every day, but he also did. He also did stress, and I can't stress. At 30 days, look at the once your items go after 30 days. eBay's always said it needs to do that in order to get optimized in Google search. Folks, that happens in less than 48 hours. Google search optimizes pretty damn quick. They are so. So Backyard Mowing says promotes the entire store. Always have. Um, Similar listing. I think so. The one thing I have a product over here. Let me grab it. I've got just tons of. So I ended up buying. I've had these for years. These things were popular for a while, and Rite Aid put them on clearance. I think I was picking them for 50 or 60 cents each, whatever they are. I've probably got 300 of these stupid things. I've just got the one listing up for a single, and I'm using the multi. And so today I'm gonna build some. So peddling profits is one. Okay, nice. The other half of peddling profits doesn't do social media at all. Okay. Accept my apology for misgendering. So I'm gonna make a 2-pack, a 3-pack, a 4-pack, a 5-pack, a 6-pack, and I think they sell up to like 7-packs. And just to get more exposure and really dominate the search anytime somebody looks for this thing. So so Jacob says generally done the standard promotion and the advanced on top of it. So I was listening. So you can learn a lot. Even somebody it was sold as long as I have. I don't do auctions. Rarely do auctions. So does anybody? So John was talking about last night. Anybody have any experience with the express option on auctions? It's got me curious. It's like promoted listings for auctions, and so Phil, I think you can take down 500 at a time, whatever. I've only got 600 in the store, so it takes me just a second to knock them down, and you can put 200 back up at a time. So it's only having 600 or 700 items. I just have to relist the 3. Home Power Systems from Colorado. Could you please come get your weather? I'm not enjoying your cold weather. Uh, yeah, it's 32 degrees right now. Home Power Systems, and I live in the South because I don't want to. I don't want to deal with this. So Dustin, I have talked about this for a long time. This is a 100% true statement. Struggling to keep Amazon and eBay going. If you focus on one, the other one drop. It is okay. So add YouTube to it. It really is difficult, and people have always wondered, why the YouTube channel's been stuck and why I don't do more content. It's just hard to do. It's hard to do 2 reselling platforms. That's why I've kind of started being a little negative towards the cross listing thing. Oh, because people go, oh, but cross listing really doesn't take any time. It's kind of automated. You're adding different platforms, folks. Just putting your items on a platform. Generally, I've done that, and I don't have I might get one sale every other week on these other platforms because I don't have time to spend getting to know the platforms, understanding their systems, what works, best practices, all these things for these other platforms, while I'm still trying to push eBay, Amazon, and YouTube. It's exceptionally difficult. Um, so Ohio will not list. That's very interesting. Ohio will not let you list as auctions on eBay. Add marriage and dogs. Yeah, I've currently got the door closed over there because the dogs don't know how to close it when they go back out, and it makes it cold in here right now. So they're in. If I had to guess, they're both under the covers with Joni right now. Ping G, good morning, good morning. Uh, right, right. Ohio has the auctioneer law. See, Alabama does not. As long as you own the merchandise, they don't care. I think a lot of states are that way. Even if it's your inventory, as long as you are the owner, they don't like consignment. That's why people ask me, would you sell something for others? And my advice has always been, if you're going to sell something for somebody, just buy it from them. If you can work out a deal and just buy it from them, you're much better off. And then that way, the accounting is much easier. You don't have you don't have to explain how their 50% of profit after fees is so little. Uh, so Bobby loves her. So if you look into it, there are around 27 states that have laws about having an auctioneer's license to sell live. Interesting. Yeah, Larry, that's the same thing. I heard John talking about the express promoted, but I did not know anything about it. Phil, I agree with you. That's the way it should be. Phil says if it's his and he wants to launch it into space, uh, more power to you. Set it on fire. Be like John Johnson. Shoot it. I don't know how many of y'all saw that video. Where he got a dual player back that didn't work, and he shot it with his AR. Yeah, that was fun. That was almost as good as somebody mowing the grass with a lawnmower that smoked like a chimney.
I don't know anybody that would do that.
So it says, Pelham Prophet says Ohio has made it easy to get an auctioneer license compared to what it was, considering going to Columbus to get one. I think in Alabama you still have to go to auctioneer school and all that stuff. That's one of my goals. I've talked about it a little bit. I want to do some live auctions this winter, and moving forward. One of my goals for next year is to find some live auctions to go to. Hey, Mark. Good morning. Yeah, to see. Ping G says, nice, cool weather here in Anaheim. I'm tired of. I was talking to Dave yesterday and complaining about cold. He was telling me how terrible it was of being like 71 or 72. He's outside of LA. Yeah, what's our high today? 54. Oh, 53. They kicked it down. But at least we won't see this. Damn, the next 10 days we don't see the 60s. What the hell?
I tell you what, live auctions are one of the best ways in the world to find new bolos and new items to sell, and realizing that something you didn't think was worth anything is actually worth something.
Yeah, no, they're definitely
whether you buy it or not.
Definitely got useful purposes. For filling out, and you've got an item that you have no clue what it's worth, and just let it go and take the risk. Also, if you've got stuff that you just want to get rid of, that's the other challenge I would tell you. A lot of people are saying, I got stuff that I would just want to move, and so yesterday or last night, John on Flipping Ain't Easy was talking about using auctions on his second store to get rid of records and selling them in lots and selling them at auction. So if you've got inventory you want to move and you're like, man, I don't know how to get rid of this, I'm dropping the price and it's not doing anything. In the listing, restart it as an auction, but be prepared that the one thing I would tell you about an auction is I suggest that you put shipping on auction, just so if something happens, you get to a lower price, you're at least cover your shipping. Um, Phil, no, Dave rarely wears long pants, so he's probably not wearing it at 71. So, Larry, are you going to move to Florida like all the rest of the old people? Were you bragging about a sale, Todd?
Yeah, you didn't see my video?
I have not. I was watching sports this morning. I will check into it though. And I was also editing a short before I came on here. So if everybody will hold up your hand and say, "I commit, Beard," if you tell us what the short's about to watching it uh, for 40 seconds, I will go ahead and tell you. All right. Thank you for Pinky swearing here. So I did a short this morning, and what kind of phone do you use? An iPhone or an Android, Todd?
iPhone.
All right. So have you noticed the iPhone? Do you keep it updated? Because the app updated in the last 3 or 4 days. Uh,
I think so. I've got like an automatic update
and
on.
I suggest that you put all your apps on automatic update. So so when you're doing the hardest thing I have found about, and the thing I don't take advantage of as much when I'm listing on eBay, I use my phone is it's a pain in the ass to find the custom SKU in the bottom of item description, item specifics. Have you noticed that how hard that is? And at some point, I didn't even think IFSKU was on there because it was so difficult to find. Well, now on the iPhone app, I don't know if it's on Android. I'll check. I got an Android phone right here. Right underneath the title, just like on it should be like it used to be on the computer. Uh, shit. Custom SKU has been moved, so you can easily put it on there. Makes it really really nice. Um, yeah, Ken, I'm on. I think I'm on 7.2, the RC or whatever it is. I generally run the beta. So, but that really, really a good reminder to help you with your inventory system and that kind of stuff. So, all right. All right, let's check the other one. Let's see what they did with Android. All right, chugging time. Sell one like this. Where are you? The apps are very similar. I do prefer the Android, the iOS app. Listing summary. See, no, it is. Let's make sure that there's not an update. iOS still looks like the old Android. Or the Android looks like the old iOS. So what are we having for breakfast?
Eggs and bakey.
Eggs and bacon. And update all of them. So no, there is no eBay. So it's not for Android. Has not done that yet. Just the iOS. So for those of you who have the biggest difference between Android and I've talked about a lot. Android and iOS is easier to deal with because there's only one phone, and it's to upgrade the Android app is a little more difficult because it has to work on all the different manufacturers. Where iOS is the same. Uh, so that is the plan. John's already watched it. Cool. Thank you very much, sir. Bobby's saying good morning, Michigan girl. Could you come get your weather? Uh, yeah, Tactical says it's still down. That's where it is. It's still down. It's much harder. I like it. I like them putting it right there, so it reminds me. Dummy. Put your item specific on there. I mean, put your custom SKU on there.
I don't pay it a lot of attention because I just I'm sitting here most of the time anyway, so I just use my computer to list.
Phil, if you're doing all that at the same time, buddy, you better watch out. You might have one of them Control Alt Delete Reset. That's a lot of stuff to be doing at one time.
Multitasker.
Good morning. Good morning.
So,
Good morning. Can you hear me?
No. Um,
Well, I felt bad because you were all by yourself there for a little bit. Everybody was leaving you.
yeah,
Todd's
I don't count.
he's just eating breakfast.
You know, hopefully I don't have any blueberries in my teeth because I just finished breakfast myself. So I did try that the auction with the extra promotion thing.
Right.
So they charge you $4.95 total. And I don't even know why I picked it. It just popped up and I was like, oh, I'll try it. I rarely do auctions, but when I had something, it was that fishing reel. That there was a couple sales on Parapeak like 2 or 3 years ago. It's an old one, but I had it brand new in the box. And I did have a bunch of watchers and I think I had a bunch of views and 6 watchers pretty quick, but no one bid on it. So I have it set to start again. I was doing the 5-day auction and I like it to end on a weekend night. And so I have it set to start again. And this time I'm going to do without it. So I don't know if you can really compare it, but
how do they charge you? Is it just is it based on the starting price or?
no, it's a flat $4.95 and it's not a percentage or anything, but they charge you even if the auction doesn't sell.
Correct.
But I did about a month or 2 ago, I did an auction. I hadn't done an auction in years. And I had bought this train set at an estate sale and I was really excited about it. But dummy me, I didn't think to open the box. It was like 50 or 75% off day. So I was just kind of grabbing stuff. And it had a really good, it was like Merklin. And the little cars go for lots of money.
Yeah.
But when I opened up the set, everything was there except the cars or the little trains. So I just put it up on auction and it did sell, but it sold the second time at the second auction. But I don't know, I paid like $4 for it and I sold it for like $25 plus shipping. So I was happy with that.
I think I might have Thom's kryptonite here. Start. I think it's a flip phone that's a half flip phone, half smartphone.
Well, I've been messing with that Sony CyberShot for I don't know how long now. First, I had to order a charger, and then I had to get an SD card because I tried to use one that I had, and it said it couldn't access the data. So I just ordered a cheap one, and then the lens wouldn't open, but I watched YouTube on how to open the lens, and now the lens will open. I think it just didn't open because it had sat there for so many years, not opened. And so I got that figured out. And now it says it'll start to work, but then it has an error that says, turn the camera off and back on again. So I think I'm just going to sell it for parts because I'm sick of messing with it. But if anybody has any idea on how to fix that error, let me know.
I know how to fix it.
I figured you might, Beard.
I know how to fix it. You sell it for parts.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm sick of messing with it.
I
don't want somebody to get it and then it works for a little bit and then it doesn't. So
the only thing I've ever tried is sometimes the Sony. Is it one of the Sonys that has the 2 little squares that come together and open up? Sometimes they get messed up. And
I got it to open and close now. I figured that out. But every once in a while, like it'll open up and it'll be working fine. And then it has, I think it just didn't open up because it probably hadn't had a battery in it for a couple years. And So I watched a couple of YouTubes, and they literally were like, bang on the camera with your hand, or take your hand and it opened up. Well, then I opened and closed and opened and closed, and now that's working fine. But it still will say like it'll still say turn on and off after it's been on a couple of minutes.
Yeah, I would just sell the parts. It's
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
and I would let I be. I know you're going to do that, but be very descriptive. Say hey, it does work, but it does this, and so you're more likely to get somebody to buy it.
Yeah, I'm gonna show it like opened up so people see that,
Okay, so I know you're not going to be surprised by this, but Apple lies to you guys. So if you got an older phone, so my listing phone is a XS Max. So that's the last phone that's supported by the current operating system. And they tell you that if you want MagSafe, you must have at least it started in 12. And so you must have an iPhone 12 or greater to do. I bought a case for this Max with the iPhone with this with the MagSafe magnets on it. It works on this old thing. I put it on the charger, and it charges through the MagSafe case. I found my wallet yesterday, so I can show you that. I had lost it for 4 days, but so I have this little and don't worry, you can't see any of the numbers because all I carry is the debit cards and a driver's license. But it supports all the things, and this is an old XS Max, so if you want MagSafe on an older iPhone 11 or an XS Max, just buy a case that because it is no different than this one. I don't have. I'm when I'm under here laying flat. I generally keep the wallet part in my pocket. But I am going to upgrade. I asked Santa Joni for Christmas. I like this wallet, but I need one that works with Find My. So when I lose it, it'll at least beep, and the phone will take me to it. It was. So the story goes, and I jumped out of my truck to go to the estate sale, and I had in my pocket in the pocket carry, and my wallet must have been up against it, so I set it in the mat pocket of the door of the truck, and because yesterday when I got to the auction, and I got out of the truck and I found in the door, I'm like, oh wait a minute, it's sitting on top of my wallet. I hadn't seen either one of them in 3 days, so. I didn't lose my truck. Come on now. Yeah. So that's life at 50 is in mid 50s. I can't wait for my 70s because I'm not gonna, I'm gonna have to walk around with everything just tied to me or glued. That's what I'm gonna invent. I'm gonna invent some kind of Velcro clothes that I can just Velcro anything I want to me. That way I don't lose it.
You're gonna have be one of those old men that has the key thing on his belt.
Yeah. That'd be a good country western song. I lost my wallet and my Glock as well.
Well, it has to be something different. I was carrying the Glock because I lost the Taurus. And then when I finally figured it out, I've got a now I'm carrying a Glock and a Taurus. Yeah, I need everything. You're right, Michigan. Everything on retractable leashes. And then last night, I'm taking the trash out. I'm going to bed. I'm looking around. I'm like, I can only find one set of keys. I wonder what I did with the other set of keys. I'm like, I think I know where they are. They're out here on the desk. So, because I have two sets. I have two identical sets of keys. Because when you lose one, you need to split them up and have two. Yeah. I'm telling you, life in your 50s. But I had this phone in a box I was trying to find because I think it says something about, I don't know if this is the exact model. But this one was a return, but I'm gonna list it today. It is How do you get to the menu on this thing? Speed dial. Notices. Okay, notices. No notices. All right. Okay. Oh, you hit the OK and it does that. Nice. Is it touchscreen? Nope. I guess I got to use a little thing to get around on it. Man, how do we ever live with these things? Am I the only one that remembers? And you see these young people just texting with these things and going through to get an S, you had to hit the button. To get an S, you have to hit the 7, 1, 2, 3, 4 times and then wait patiently. I'm like, yeah. That's why I didn't text early on. Airplane mode is emergency alert. Where's the about the phone? Did we not do about anymore? Personalization, privacy, device information. This is a model 40440. How are they? Why can't they just put the line through the 0? Why does the O and the 0 have to be so close? I know this is fascinating. So what is Mad Snapper mad about? About Walmart. I don't sell on Walmart, so I don't know. Does your son sell on Walmart, or is he just still stick with Amazon?
I'm pretty sure he signed up for it, but if he is selling on it, it's not much. Because he hasn't really talked about it. and I just said back to him, Amazon, love him and hate him, but I forgot he said it was Walmart. I've heard there's a lady that I follow and I've kind of become friends with on Instagram, and she sells quite a bit on Walmart, but she complains about them quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't think they're everything people say is it's not as fluid, and too many things you have to have somebody look at. A lot of things you have to have them help you with.
A lot. I mean, they'll be they'll just instantly refund somebody. She's had this happen a couple times. They said it wasn't delivered, and Walmart just totally refunded them, and she has it showing that it was delivered. Oh, I think that was my granddaughter calling me. Hang on just a second.
So how do you test the battery life on cameras? I don't. I just charge the batteries. I tell them there's a battery included. I don't know how long it lasts. Batteries are so cheap now, Mark, that's not a concern as much anymore. You can get just a cheap battery on eBay or Amazon for little than nothing for most cameras. Mr. Sadie, I don't forget my pants. So Phil, that's why you pay the big bucks to listen to me carry on, right? Your attendance is mandatory on my little lives here. Not consider auctions for clearance. No, it is interesting, and it's a great way to for the most part, if you start at a low enough price to get rid of stuff. You know, the challenge that John was doing was he was also using auctions, but he was making lots. So he was selling more than one item, which I thought was pretty smart. He's not awake yet, so don't tell him. So Matt Snapper did 350 sales recently. Is that $350 or 350 items? Yeah, Joanne, I used to think that and wouldn't care, but somebody stole a package off my front porch. And so, the hell with these folks. I figured the keys were out here and it's in a locked building, so I didn't come out here looking because it was cold last night. But, yeah. So, Roman, I'm not going to Texas to get Todd's desk, so there you go. Even if Todd leaves it to me in his will, I'm not going to get it.
I think if you tried to move this desk now, it would just fall apart. I've worn it out. It's on its last legs.
Okay, so John, this is weird, man. I've always had this ability, and I know most people don't possess it, so it's really strange. If I've ever been somewhere, I get deja vu real bad. I can remember it. I can also, if I've been somewhere, I can almost always get back there. Sense of direction like that. I can't remember diddly squat about diddly squat, but except for it's just out. And the other thing, the the crazy ability to identify a car by the headlights at night. Not as much the newer cars now, but up until like 2019, I was about 75 to 80% accurate. I can tell you what the car is coming by the headlights, which is odd, and tail lights too. So, when you're blessed with skills that have no rhyme or reason and really nothing, Mr. Sadie, okay, we'll agree that you're old, but you can learn new things. So Roman says he doesn't include batteries in film cameras. I have a bunch of them over there, and I buy them. And so Roman, so I treat batteries in film cameras like I do cables and stuff with a VHS and remotes with a VHS players and things. I want people to be able to use it out of the box. I want to show them that. So most of the time I'll put in there that I installed new batteries. The batteries do not, the 123 batteries, you can get 10 of them for about 10. You're talking $1. You're not talking maybe a touch more in shipping, a few ounces, but you'd be amazed. You'll get more. And it also instills confidence in the buyer when they understand that they're getting a brand new battery, so they know you've tested those kind of things. Like I sold a remote yesterday, and same price as everybody else. Mine was 25% off, and I got the same price as everybody else because I put a new battery in it. Items. There you go. Very nice. Very, very nice, man. Snap. Maybe one day I'll do Walmart. I just don't feel the need to add another, with the local auction and eBay and Amazon and YouTube. Another one just complicates my life too much right now. So, Todd, is your desk nailed to the floor so nobody can take it?
You bet.
Roman thinks it is. You have to buy your entire house. Todd can't sell the house because he ain't got to dig up all the gold and silver in the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
So Todd, that's generally a good idea. Just understand hope you're getting those from an approved supplier, because that is one of the items that if it's got the wrong item in it, if it's got this or that. So just know if you know what you're doing and confident in the manufacturer, that kind of stuff, you're fine. But that one there's a little risk of that one that most people who are newer resellers don't need to deal with. But I know you've been around a while. Roman, they should have reached out. So Roman says your hands should be in eBay commercials. You know how they have like a little little glass jewelry hands or whatever. That would be good to make models of your hands and then sell them. I bet you can sell 8 or 10 of them to your audience.
God.
Yes, I get it, Matt Snapper, Amazon, and I'm selling a lot of one-offs and a lot of. No, except for today, I have to ship the freaking mincemeat. I've got 9 jars of mincemeat to ship out today. Trying to decide whether to go buy some more. I know whether someone sent me a message where there is a bunch of it. I have to drive a little ways, but I can get to it. Trying to decide if I want to go get another 30 jars of that stuff or not today.
Did you picture them in front of some nice breasts?
I sold them on Amazon, so I didn't have. You don't do your own pictures on Amazon,
Mm.
but that would be worth it just to list one of my jars in front of my hairy chest on eBay. Mm. Nothing inspires confidence. And I missed that on one of the boxes. One of the comments, the gold, the short for the gold level shipping. I got one of Franklin's hair in the label, and I forgot to mention that you should always put dog hair in the label sticking out of it. Timothy Doe, yes, I always when I sell the garments, which I've got 4 or 5 to list. Um, I still sell the lifetime map ones. They're worth 30, $40. Easy to ship, easy to test, easy to update. Um, I do include the power cable. And be careful because on Garmin's, not all power cables are equal. Some of the fancier ones need a different power cable, and there's 1 or 2 of those power cables that are $50 or $60 just by the cable by itself. So if you're going to sell Garmin's, because there's a little square a little rectangle right in the middle of the cable, and for a lot of those, that has something to do with the traffic or the mapping or something. So Sam, that is a good idea. So what the camcorder? Do you have a battery? So here's the question: if I didn't have a battery, I would put the battery in it. Um, but also, what does that do? The value, are you going to get any of that value out of it? Because I'm assuming the camcorder is worth okay money. Um, are there any other people that have sold it with a new battery? Or what's your competition like? Can you put in there? Hey, it comes with a new battery. If I did do the battery, I would highlight that in my description and probably the title. So so that's a mystery of why that happens. Mass Sapper says, did let auto negate recently. Uh, it is just about the more you sell. That's the one thing I can tell you. The more items you sell and the dollars you sell, it's almost like there's written levels. Once you sell a number of items and a number of dollars, it'll tell you your account is eligible, or your account is approved or whatever on the auto engate. I think once you reach certain sales levels on certain things, there are certain products that'll let you sell. So very nice. Uh, it just sounds terrible, Todd. I don't know that I've ever had it. People tell me it's in fruitcake. Cleavage, yes or no? Freezing or bursting. So I've got double boxes, John, and I'm wrapping them in the white foam, and then I am putting the air bubble wrap, and then packing them in all 3 of those in the air things as well. So hopefully they're all right. FOAB 132. Thank you so much for the super chat. Just want to say thank you. Jim dropped on Fridays, found 11. They sold instantly. They are still hot. The price has actually gone up on those. So the price, it was down to like $21 that Friday night, but now the lowest is like $23.99. So I think you could. I sold all mine for $24.88, and they sold instantly. I think there's another dollar in them. I think $25.88. They'll sell pretty fast. When I looked at it this morning, there was one seller that had 30, one that had 20, and then everybody else was 1, 2, somewhere between 1 and 5. So and Keepa will if you've got Keepa, do the browser extension. Keepa will tell you your amounts. So Roman is actually not making a joke and is making a. Todd, do you have a piece on one of your post-it notes? Can you write this down? At 8:48 a.m., Roman made a positive comment. Sometimes find good cameras and camcorders in the Goodwill bin. Found a Fuji film camera recently. It sold for $69, so around 50 cents. That's Roman. That's winning, man. Fuji is a brand that the price is not as good, but they do have a line of waterproof cameras that does well. So Timothy says my local thrift has 50. Yeah, $6 each is pretty strong. I generally don't pay any more than $5. And then they're also not the lifetime apps, so they're much harder to deal with. Now I've got 33 items to ship. Let's see what we saw. I am rich. Todd, can you carry on the rest of the show? I am rich. We sold an $8 CD, $8 DVD. I am rich. Yes.
Retirement time.
I know, right? All right, Matt Snapper. Have a good one, man. Feeling your laugh. Roman said it's a very rare occurrence. So Roman, I find that people overlook Fuji. You'll find a lot of those especially yard sales and estate sales. Everybody's looking for Canon, Sony, Nikon, and a lot of the Fujis are nice, nice cameras, and they the $30 to $50 range. I'll pick those up all day long because most of the time you can get them for $4 or $5, $6. 50 cents hard. There's no way to pass up a 50-cent camera. I don't care what it is. I don't pass it up. And I have caught up with the chat. Is that amazing or what?
Pretty cool.
So are you going to do Thursday then, since Tom's not going to be with us?
Sure I can. Right before I get out.
Yeah, it'll be
with the Lutherans.
Yeah. Roman said you sell a silver coin for 500,000 and then you go back on vacation.
Yep. Yeah, Thursday. That's my birthday. Ha.
So is Gwen do anything special for you now that you're going to turn 70 something?
She said she was going to take me out to eat, but I wonder who's really going to pick up the bill. Yeah, I think the boys are coming down to eat, have a meal with us, and yeah. Should be a nice birthday.
Mark, I put the entire store 25% off. I shipped yesterday. I shipped yesterday quite a few. I didn't ship them all yesterday though. When 10 or 15, half of them, I'd say half of them are from yesterday. Last couple of days, Sunday and Monday. I have 2 days handling. I had a bunch to sell on Amazon. So yesterday I was running behind because I might have fallen asleep in the chair. And so I shipped everything that had to go out, and then I started shipping.
Yeah, we need to have a birthday party Thursday for me, so everybody show up. I'm giving away $50 to everybody that shows.
So Marjorie, without the battery, there's no way to function. Test it. Unless, okay, so Sony did make these little things. They fit into the battery slot, and you can plug them in. So they were, they worked for the battery, but you had to keep them plugged in. That's the only other option to having a battery is that item. And I get them every now and then. But without the battery, there's no way to. If it's a Sony Handycam, most of the time, it's even for parts, you won't lose.
Yeah, so now that I have all the battery and charger and everything for that Sony CyberShot, I'm going to start taking a battery with me to the estate sales. Just test the camera at the sale.
So we used to talk about that a lot. Does anybody carry a little kit with them? Or at least keep in your car? to have, 3 or 4 double A's, some triple A's. If you want to test these things, I need to do that. It'd be a reason to carry a back. I need to put a camera on a backpack anyway. The one thing I tell you, if you're gonna buy anything that's got batteries in it, please check the battery compartment before you buy it.
Yeah, that I always do. But around here, the cameras are not $5. Like they've got them for $30, $40. So I usually try to get them on 25 off or 50 off days. But when you're spending that much, yeah, it'd be nice to know it worked before you brought it home.
Yeah.
Yeah, this last one Saturday had a bunch of film cameras and stuff. People knew a lot about that stuff. I didn't. So I know I missed out on some good stuff, but I also know this company looks up most things. So
Yeah. I did buy an Olympus film one the other day. And it takes those little C2 batteries, or I forget what it's called, but I only had one. So I ordered the Amazon basic ones because they were cheap, but it came and it was the wrong size. So I returned it and they didn't even make me send it back.
So Tommy Boy does carry batteries to estate sales. It's really smart. There's some, and also if the one thing, the little battery testers. If you're going to sell electronics, Miss Dawn, good morning. Look forward to you carrying on at 11 o'clock. So I hope y'all have an exciting show today at 11 East Central and aren't disappointing. You guys normally are a lot of fun. But the battery testers, man, they are cheap. They're easy. You got to have one. It just, because the other day I was testing something and I grabbed batteries out of the drawer with all the batteries that are supposedly good. And I'm like, I almost threw this thing away. And I'm like, it should work. It was like a little Sony digital voice recorder. And I'm like, let's just test about it. And one of those 2 batteries was dead.
I liked at one time Duracell sold the batteries where you could hold each end and it had the little.
Yeah, Chastity. Cameras, man, they sell so fast. The film cameras, I just function test, and basically it's make sure they come on, the lens moves, and all that stuff. I don't film test just because getting film processed and all that kind of craziness is expensive these days.
Well, the one I bought had film in it, so I figured if it advanced, then it's probably okay.
So I do not do FBM to Canada. I used to do the remote fulfillment, but I don't have enough stuff I haven't sent a shipment into FBA in 3 months, unfortunately. I've got a huge stack of books that's going in hopefully tomorrow. I'm trying to wait because they're just books and there's not going to make a difference between now and the 15th. The 15th, if y'all guys don't know, January 15th, the inventory storage levels go back to the normal rates from the craziness that they are right now. Yeah, I've got one of the little inverters. I just never use it. I don't know why.
Yeah, cameras. They had this at the auction, and they were such bad photographs in the auction. A Nikon Coolpix. This is a 8700.
I mean, if it works, it's $40 or $50, I'm sure.
No, it's about 16. But
no kidding.
Yeah,
Does it work? Anyway,
it doesn't
is that
have
one
a
of the auto?
battery or a charge cord.
And some of those take AA batteries. That one doesn't.
I think it takes kind of a special battery.
You said it's an 8700?
Yeah. And, well, their pictures are so bad, I didn't know if it was a 8700 or a B700. The B700 is $300.
Mm.
So I thought, well, I'll take a chance.
No, it takes an ENEL1. You can buy it for free shipping, $6.50 per battery.
Yeah, but it's
But the
not worth
camera's
it.
only worth $16. That's not.
So I'll probably put it in a camera lot and just
See, cameras like that, I run through my auction if I were to pick that up.
What did you pay for it, Todd?
it wasn't very much. It's like I think it was $750 plus 10% buyer premium.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, okay, I'll take a chance. Because if it was the B700, which the script looks exactly alike, except instead of a
There's
instead
somebody
of a
there who has a charger and a case. They got 30 plus 12 shipping. Somebody there with a charger and a case got 40 plus 10 shipping. Are you sure that's only a $16 camera? No, but there are a lot of them that
well, I
couldn't
don't
get
have
$12.
chargers either.
Right,
So
$30. So if you got a charger, it's worth $30. Or if you got a brand new, it's worth $190. I'm so tired of eBay when I'm searching for complete is showing all this shit that comes from England. I don't care. That's not. Oh,
Or not that, but like totally different things.
is there any way? Does anybody know? Can I go? It says default shipping. Is there any way to go in and tell them what your default location is? I wonder. 'Cause
You can search by zip code.
I just want the U.S. I don't care about
Yeah.
anything. Somebody who's smarter at eBay than me, which doesn't take much.
it does have a memory card. Maybe I can sell it.
Mark, I try to send in a small box, so whatever fits in a Lowe's 16 by 12 by 12 by 12. I try to use that same one for books too because I find if you use anything much bigger than that, books slide around, they get very heavy and get damaged. So I try to control the damage. So those books over there in their stack, it's probably gonna take 2 of those boxes to send them in, but I'd rather pay a little more in shipping than have because really you're putting 15, 20, 30 books in a box. What's the shipping on $8 or $9, $10? It's not a lot on that box.
Oh, okay. The memory card's worth $3.
Oh,
You should
Tim,
check out the pictures. Maybe they'd be worth more.
I don't want to have to check the box every time. I want I want them to do it every time.
Yeah, I don't know what's on the memory either, so that would be fun for somebody if it came with like my night in Paris.
Yeah, some of the remotes are good, Mark. We sell a bunch of remotes. I think I've got 3 to ship today. I've just bought remotes through the years, and I think we've got 120 of them listed right now. But I'll probably sell 5 a week, 5 or 6 a week. If you see remotes for most time at a yard sale, they can be a quarter, 50 cents. And if you stick to the main brands and the oddballs, so any bed remote, you always buy any bed remote. I can tell you that. My last sleep comfort one went for 130, 140, something stupid. But any bed remote and then anything that's like Sony, Panasonic, uh, Toshiba, Samsung, any of those.
Oh, I have an extra bed remote. I'm gonna check and see how much that's worth because I thought I lost mine. How do you lose a bed remote? We don't leave it. It doesn't come out of the bedroom. I thought I had lost it, so Paul went to the store and they just gave him another one. And then I found it. So we have 3 of them.
Oh yeah, time to sell it. Yeah, look, you'll be a shock. Look one
I
up.
never even thought to look that up.
Because I was looking at a bed at one of the estate sales this weekend, and they had the remote laying there in the middle of it. If they wanted 100 a quarter for the bed, the remote was worth $169. I'm like, if
Oh,
somebody was,
the sleep number, it's just the ones that go up and down. But
yeah, I'm like, if somebody was dishonest, they'd have put that remote in their pocket. And I don't know that the estate sale companies realize how much value is in those remotes, and they leave them laying around. Harlan, we just talked about the battery compartment. Yeah, it's frustrating. It should be one of those lockable filters,
hmm
like like you can lock completed. Let's see. I don't think it is.
She said that you have to reset it every time. It'd be just as fast to scroll past the stuff you don't want to see.
Because I know the three things you can do is expand the filters. That way you can see, you don't have to hit more every time to get to the completed. And then the lockable you can make completed, and a few of those lock. They should all be lockable, and that way the default you wouldn't have to worry about it. Harlan just arrived. Yeah, we had just mentioned that about 5 minutes ago, Harlan. That anything with a battery, you got to check the compartment, because people don't realize how batteries corrode. And I can't tell you how many. I passed on 2 or 3 items at that last estate sale because the batteries were just crazy.
Yeah, or there's been sometimes that I can't even, no matter what I do, open the battery compartment. So you know it's probably really gucked up in there.
Yeah, Mark, I try to reset everything. Just because I buy so many things at the estate sales and those kind of things and yard sales, and people just don't know. And so, if I buy a computer, I'll redo it. If I buy anything, I don't want their personal information, and I'm not going to pass it on. So it's just a personal thing with me. I just do it out of common courtesy. It doesn't take too terribly much. This is a used phone, but it's never been activated. We sold something else. I really might be getting rid of y'all. This is probably the other phone. This is probably the same. It's weird. The Android gets the notification before the iPhone, generally, except for today. It got it last. But that's weird. 30 minutes later or 20 minutes later, that one dings. Hey Tracy, good morning, man.
Oh, honestly, I never thought to reset a Blu-ray player.
How do you reset a Blu-ray player? Unless you just put it back to factory defaults, maybe you've changed the region or changed.
Oh, passwords.
Mark, I never even thought about that. That's interesting.
I didn't either.
And I got a whole stack of them over there.
Yeah, I haven't sold very many of those. So.
Usually I sell them pretty quick. Let's see if they're even listed. I know I list them.
That's like we've talked about before, when I would go maybe to the hotel business center to print something, and I get on the computer, print I guess I hadn't carried my Dymo or something, go and print my labels. And I literally, I must have been near a military base or something, South Carolina, North Carolina, and some guy left he must have sent to his mortgage company, like he was applying for a home, and all his information was there at the hotel computer. I swear I almost sent him an email saying, you left all this shit on the computer. But I just erased it all.
Well, that was
How do you
nice.
reset a person?
They're all listed. They're just not sold, which is weird. Blu-ray players on Amazon usually sell pretty quick. I got a whole stack of them over there. All right, so now Mark, I will.
You should have saved
I'll
that
just,
to a flash drive and a ransom did to him.
how do you
I
reset
wonder
a
if the
person?
Blu-ray player, if it's unplugged long enough, would it just reset? Or you actually have to reset it?
Baseball. The only way I know how to reset a person is to block and don't take their phone calls.
Oh my gosh, I had to block. I've been on eBay for 19 years. Not necessarily selling all that time, but I had to block my first person. She not only wrote me this, like every other word was capitalized and stuff about something I was selling, but I went and looked at her profile. I gotta read you her profile. See if I can find it real quick. I took a screenshot of it because I sent it to somebody. This is her profile on her eBay listing. I'm honest, fair. Oh, stop it. Merlin, my husband just came in. I'm honest, fair, and courteous. I believe both bidders and sellers deserve a square deal, but hell hath no fury like mine towards scammers, something, and renegades. Yeah, I want to buy from that person.
Is that
Yeah.
white lightning?
Oh, when it connects to the internet, it comes back. Okay.
Yeah, any of the ones that have all that crazy stuff that they put in all their things, I don't buy from any of those folks. I just go on to the next person. If you're that way, if you're that way before you buy from them, how bad are they if you actually have any kind of issues?
Well,
So,
she was trying to tell me I have something new from 1981. And she's like, how can this be new? It was manufactured in 1981. Well, okay, it's unused. I have it listed as new other, but she just went on and on about it. And I was talking to a friend of mine. She's like, she probably just wants to get it from you cheaper so she could sell it.
so baseball, that was the answer I had to, but I'm too old to go to jail, and nobody is that. I would block them from my life before. It's very rare to something that serious that they need to be permanently checked out. Definitely don't recommend that. Karma generally has a nice way of catching up with folks. Brian. It is Wednesday. What are you talking about?
No, that's the same thing. When I sat down to eat breakfast and I put on YouTube and I'm like, wait, is it Wednesday?
Guys, this is the Thom is on a cruise edition. Thom normally does Tuesday and Thursday, and there's no Thom. All right, yeah, we're gonna go to 9:30, so 15 minutes. Any?
Yeah, this is your Love Boat edition of the Reseller podcast, hour and a half.
Yeah, but the one thing I would tell you is you're running into the last few days of fourth quarter, which has not been wonderful. So if you've got items that you want to sell, put them up there.
Man, I was gangbusters until about 8-9 days ago, and then it just.
Well, weekend before last, I sold a pretty good bit, and this weekend I sold 3 things.
Yeah,
Granted,
I
I
had a
don't
good day
have that many
yesterday, but it's
listed,
all
but
because of one item I sold.
And I've had some weird stories too. So I sold a 2-pack of water filters. They were still sealed, never used. And the lady said that when she opened one of them, it had water in it. The other one was fine, but one of them, but that's weird. I gave her half back anyway. I mean, because I didn't have a lot in them, but that was strange. And then the guy who bought the the Donkey and Ohm, the $275 hat sizer thing, the vintage thing. He sends me a message saying it's okay. So this is customer of the year here. He sends me a message saying that it shows as marked as delivered, but he didn't get it. And so I saw it. I'm like, and he said my address is so and so in Miami, and I looked at it, and this thing went to Missouri. And I'm like, that's weird. How did this address get on your account? How did it get over there? And he said, I used to live there. I'm like, so you're telling me that the item is delivered and you didn't get it, and you noticed that the damn address went to your old one, and somehow this is my. Why are you emailing me? I'm like, sir, I delivered it to the address you provided. You need to make arrangements with, because he was living in a hotel. I thought it was weird that it was going to a hotel, one of those extended stay hotel or something. And so you need to make arrangements for them to ship it to you and pay for it or whatever. I am currently out of this situation. And then the one yesterday, the lady says that UPS sent her a picture. The scan looked like it's in a car, and it's definitely not here. She needs it for work. And I'm like, yeah, it's delivery has a scan, shows you exactly where it was when they scanned it. Please contact UPS. They said I tried open a case with UPS, but they said the shipper has to do it. Well, no shit. I said, yeah, and UPS is going to be very hard for me to open the case because it's showing as delivered.
Mm-hmm.
So please contact them to get the exact location of that item was scanned.
I shipped something November 28th that still hasn't arrived yet.
I also have that, the majorities are UPS, which is very disappointing because UPS has been so solid through the years. So I had a pan. I had one of the two Regal copper with the copper bottoms.
Revereware.
That Revereware. They picked it up here. It's a physical scan. It's got a physical scan at the when it got back to be put on a truck or whatever. But from that point, it has virtual scans, which is really weird. How does something have a virtual scan? Do they just say the truck's here but it gets two virtual scans and then now they can't find it. They claim it's in Nashville somewhere, but the last actual scan was in Huntsville.
Well, mine checked into the regional in Chicago, and then it checked in again, and then it checked out, and then it checked in again. And it just keeps going back and forth. But the lady hasn't contacted me, so I don't want to send her a message saying, sorry, this hasn't gotten there yet. I mean, she hasn't noticed it. I'm not saying anything.
So I had a pair of earrings lost in the mail. I shipped them like a month ago. Finally, the lady put in a request to eBay saying, I haven't gotten this. I looked at the tracking. It's bounced around Pennsylvania for 3 weeks. So they weren't very expensive, so I just refunded her. And in there I said, if you would like and you still receive them, think about maybe paying me a little for them. So they arrived yesterday, and she sent me a message saying, they're here, they're beautiful. And she said, what's your address? I'm going to mail you a check. So hopefully, I think I'm getting a check from the lady in the next day or two.
That actually happened to me one time as well. That the person, I finally refunded them because it just was lost in oblivion. And I think they sent me PayPal.
I remember Steve. Remember Steve during COVID mail disaster?
Yeah.
He refunded like 50 different people or something. He got back one repayment for things arriving finally.
Because Amazon has taught people to bitch loud enough to get it for free. So Tactical Z, depends on where it is when it's lost. If it is lost, once they receive it, the global shipping program receives it, it is now their responsibility. Anything that happens to that package after they have received it and sent it on eBay's responsibility. If it gets lost, if the truck catches on fire in the middle of Nebraska and it's on its way to wherever, you're responsible. So it depends on what side of it. Once it reaches their facility and they take ownership of it. It is eBay's responsibility. Until then, it is on you.
Yeah, I got a neutral for international shipping, and their only complaint was that the packaging was poor. Like, wait, I sent it to
Yeah.
the eBay thing, and they're supposed to either
And they wouldn't take
repack it.
that off for you?
No, I requested to take it off. No, we can't do that. It doesn't. It's not part of eBay's policy to take this off for that reason. I'm like, really? You're the
So,
ones. eBay was the ones who put it in poor
Right.
packaging to send it on to final destination.
so this guy here, do you guys even look these things up or bother with them?
I can't see it.
That's a AT&T. It's an Alcatel flip phone. It is still worth used. This one has not been registered. It's got the plastic here and the plastic here. In this condition, it's still worth $40. That's $40, folks. And it's got a 500% sell-through rate.
Oh, you know what I
Self-truck.
saw this weekend was, and actually it's probably still there, but because this Saturday they're doing another 1 day 75% off. But it was the one that it was like the Bell South Mobility with the cord and everything for your car, like the real old car phone.
Like a bag phone, sort of?
Yeah. I hadn't seen one of those for a while.
Yeah,
I
so
bet those old crickets are still worth a lot of money.
But there's money in these, and I got a bag of some older phones that say work. Where they
As long as you don't keep dropping it, it's worth some money.
I heard that.
That was a good one, baseball.
Okay, so I found the one I was looking for, that's pretty good. So I actually had that phone. That's why I knew that one was decent, because there it is. That's actually what it looks like in the box.
Weren't we getting those at Walgreens at one time?
Yeah, it's got a smart flip phone. I don't think they're the same model. I think this one's a little different. Not that
I remember visiting my brother and sister-in-law in Orlando and going around to a couple of Walgreens. I found some more down there.
When I found this one, I laughed. I'm like, it's a smart flip phone. That's like an oxymoron for Thom. He'll never see this. So some of these still have some value. I got to see if they work. These old, and you would think, why the hell do they still want these? You know what the difference is with these phones? This one's got a little burn in on it. You can see the burn in. For people that want to use a phone that don't want to be tracked, these don't get tracked. They're getting harder and harder to use because most of them are 3G, and 3G is. This one actually came with chargers. Look what it said. It said they bagged it in 11, 11, 13. I think I paid $1 at the estate sale. But it's got all the chargers and everything. I wonder if they work.
Is that 1913?
All right, so in the last minute or so, we'll see if it works. Yeah, anybody taking any bets? Will one of them come to life? I've got dueling power strips. We'll put one on each side, and we'll see if one of them will come off. Oh, wait a minute. This is the wrong kind. So this one has the wrong cable. It's a Samsung cable. Oh, well.
I need to purge my cable box. It's overflowing. I've got so much.
Sometimes you gotta leave them for a few minutes. They don't immediately come on.
We used to have a huge box with all these cords and stuff in it, and I finally got rid of a lot of it. And now I just bought these TV ears, and I need a little old-fashioned audio cable for it. I probably had one in that container that I tossed out.
Back in the day when the batteries would come loose, this was not even an original battery. I can't read this. Damn it.
You want to borrow my glasses?
There's like five pairs in the truck. Uh-oh, I just heard something beep over there. Oh yeah. Oops. It's taking a charge.
Oh yeah.
So it's a 51. Let's see what it's worth. That'll be your going away present. Nokia 5165. So if this one works, I'm going to retire from reselling. Somebody got $20 plus 8 shipping. Somebody got 12 free shipping, untested. And it has a 29 plus 7 turns on, holds charge is all it says. Somebody got $9.99, 10, 15, 20, 15. Looks like 15 to 20. So if you buy a bag for $1 and you get 2 of them, so you think, are they worth listing? I mean, it's 40. It becomes $40, and you've got the phone chargers and everything to go with them, so you're not adding anything extra. If I can just get this one to turn on now. I don't remember how it turns on.
I'll have to watch your YouTube to find out.
It's got a little sometimes these things are. This one's it's not the same phone. This one's looks a little different. Yeah, this one was different. Either that or the antenna's broken off one or the other. Some of them didn't have antennas, but so that one's gonna be no good because it does have an antenna hole. Oops.
You're down 50 cents, Scott.
I know, right?
Plus gas.
Forget about the gas. Damn it. I'm about to sell this one just to make up for it.
How many times did you rant about gasoline in that comments on that millennial thing?
They are so obsessed with it.
That was fun.
So this is a
good times memories.
A 4052R.
Almost as many times as we teased Thom about the piano.
Or boxes.
Yeah, Tactical Z says no retirement for you now, Scott.
I know. I'll be here tomorrow. So this thing new, that's $50. $54. Okay, so help me understand this. Somebody got $80. 2 people got $80. Somebody got $69. And then this person goes, you know what? Give me $35. The person before that, $60 plus shipping. So they're selling for $70 and $80. November 22nd, November 25th. On November 26th, somebody goes, I'll take $35.
Well, I got something worse than that. I got a whole set of the Super Mario Hot Wheels from 2016.
December 9th, $1 free shipping.
Oh, jeez. Okay, that beats mine. The last set of these sold at auction for $80, and now someone has it up for $3.99 plus free shipping. It's 8 Hot Wheel cars. Even if he got them for a quarter, he's not making money on them.
Yeah, it's.
So I guess I'm saving one for a couple more years.
Harlan, that's an important point. You cannot get $80 if you don't ask $80. Always put it at $80, put offers on it, and then I'll run it on sale 25% off and still get 60.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who was it? Something Treasures. She would always say, if you don't ask for a lot, you won't get a lot.
All right, everyone. Todd, thanks for coming to see us, Mr. Nostalgia Picker. We are now leaving.
Good morning.
Okay,
Hi, Todd.
get your stuff listed, and it's amazing. So, Joanna, our last question: how can you use it in an old phone if it's 2 and 3G towers? Not everyone has turned them off. Most of them have turned them off. That doesn't become my problem. They're buying the phone.
Mm-hmm.
So, in that case, Joanna, here's what you do: you sell the phone, no returns, and that way, they can get around it if they're smart. But they were going to get you anyway. That's what I would do. All right, everyone, have a good morning. I got shipping to do. Roll Tide.
Bye.